Welcome back. Right, you've joined me after about 7 hours of this filling and sanding malarkey, and it is never ending. It truly is. But I've got it. I'm now to the point where I'm going to fill this, and I just wanted to just show you where it is. Come on in close. This is now how close we've got. I can't feel these little bits of metal that show. You can't feel that. It's completely smooth. And I've got the lines and the curves roughly right, as much as I can. Someone did say, this is very interesting, someone did say, what are you messing around filling these welds for? It's a rat and survival bike, just leave the welds to show. Good point. And I do wonder myself after 8 hours of this crap. But one of the things with welds, the people who work for Vossa, who are the ones who give you prohibition orders on the side of the road, police don't really care too much about the condition of your bike. As long as the lights work and everything else and you're behaving yourself, they don't really bother. But things like the condition of your bike, the structural condition of your bike, you do often get, now and again, you'll get one of these stings where they pull everybody over and they're looking at bikes. Now, rat and survival bikes, they just have a field day, these people. They don't understand the bikes. They don't understand the genre. They don't understand that actually a rat and survival bike is often quite a well-maintained bike. It looks crap, but obviously under the skin it's not, because the person puts a lot more attention into it than somebody who just rides their bike on Sundays and polishes it now and again. So I didn't want my bike to give the impression that it was a bit of a pile. It will look matte black, it will be a street fighter, it will be altered, and any of these Vossa tossers who look at your bike, and there might be one with half a brain who realises that it's got a cut tail end and it's not a factory bike, and if they see snotty welds like a load of blobby bird shit, they're going to instantly assume that it's structurally unsafe. They write their little prohibition order, they flash the little warrant card, and off you go up the road to get a trailer because you can't ride your bike. So I don't want any of that crap. I want my bike to look like it's safe, and I know it's safe because I know it is, because I built it myself. So that's why I'm filling these welds, really just to not bring myself any grief. Now I want to put, in this last little bit, I want to put some homage to a very good friend of mine, Milo, and Milo Garage. Now, Uncle Milo is a painting professional. He's got a paint shop in California. Milo's been painting cars, bikes and everything, scooters, I think for probably longer than I've been alive, with no disrespect to his age. I don't know actually how old you are, Milo, but things I've learned from Milo are incredible. I've been doing painting since I was a teenager, so that's about 30 plus years, and I thought I knew reasonably most things, and I've still learnt loads of things from Milo. So please subscribe, go and have a look at Milo Garage, say hello and learn some stuff, because there aren't many channels you can actually learn things from. Lots of the internet is entertaining, most of it's entertaining, but Milo will teach you things about paint. He's patient beyond I would ever know, and this is a little something that I learned from Milo. Now these joints, this is just roll up your filler. This is one of the millions of little things that you pick up. This is my paper. I'm finishing this off in these welds just to get the curve exactly right. All I'm doing is just stroking the filler gently, and I think what I've learned here from Milo, the actual point of this is patience. When I see Milo sanding and prepping something for paint, that, as he says, when something's painted, all you're doing is putting a very thin skin on it. Any blemish underneath that paint will show. All you'll do is bring it up. So the preparation time is where it is. Paint won't cover anything up. You don't get thick paint and then it covers up the sins. So I'm just going over these curves as much as I can. As I said, it is a rat survival bike. They don't have to be perfect by any means, because they ain't, and they're never going to be. But this little trick, just roll up your paper, roll up your wet and dry paper, use it dry, and just stroke them out to give the curve where you want it. And then you can make the curves exact, and you can get a nice organic looking curve to them. And that pretty much is what I've been doing with this for too long. Right, so what I'm going to do with this now is just put a little final rub over, go over any of the little blemishes, just make sure that I've got all the extra little bits of filler off, and then I'll give it a coat of primer and start to think, hopefully I can call this done as far as fabrication is concerned. So stick around, stay tuned, let's get ready to put some primer on this. Right, masked up now, just masked everything up. I'm just going to squirt a little bit of etch primer over the steel, but I just want to show you this before I do. This has been about 6 to 8 hours, I think, of sanding and filing with the rat file, and then a 180 grit, and then thanks to Milo's fantastic technique with rolling up the paper to get that curve. You can, in the past I used to just roll the paper around a screwdriver handle or shaft, but it's hard. Then you get a hard curve, and it tends to cut into the filler and make the wrong shape. Whereas when you just roll it up like a tube, like an empty tube, it's squashy and it finds its own form. You get these lovely organic curves, which, so that one, and those, I'm comfortable with them. They've come out exactly how I wanted. So hopefully when we paint them, they won't turn to shit and look rubbish because they've exposed all the little blemishes. But they are pretty much the right angles. All the curves are correct. So let's get some paint on it so it looks like. Just little light coat. It's only covering up the bare steel, really. That's all this is for. Battery box. Even in this humidity, this dry weather, that battery box started to rust. So we'll get it coated up. I might have to rub this down if I have to do anything else to it. And I know that I'm not spraying it properly. Yep, I know. I'm just laying up some etch primer. You're right, Ben. And I know, yes, I know I should be welding a mask, wearing a mask, but I like the smell of paint. So there. It's just a case of getting it right in all the little places that it's going to trap water. Being as it's a tailpiece, going to get water in the back here. A lot of water getting squirted up underneath. And I may yet put a little bit more filler in here and there once this acts like a guide coat and exposes all the blemishes, which are clearly going to be there, obviously. You can't see a thing when it's bare metal. Right, there we are. Now, just as far as primer is concerned, I've laid up loads, and as you can see, come on close, man. It isn't really too bad. There's a few pinholes, little tiny blemishes and bumps, which I can rub out because they're little bumps of filler. So, as somebody did say, why am I bothering with it? Well, if a job's worth doing, if it's that close to being really good, why not go a little bit further and just get those curves just absolutely perfect. But I can't do that till the primer's dry, so just going to finish up with this tonight. The most important thing was just to protect the steel. Come out there, you're going to get suffocated. Yes, I know we should wear masks. But I like the smell of paint, don't you?
No.
I love it. I know I'm just going to get slaughtered in the comments box for this, don't you?
We are in the open.
It's just primer. It's not 2-pack, it's just a basic acrylic aerosol. It's not the end of the world. And it's just a basic coat. Right, so there we are. Pretty much done now. The look is exactly as I wanted it. It's got a nice organic feel to it. If I could weld that good, then I'd be a genius and earning a lot of money welding for a living. But that looks a lot better than it did, and I'm very, very happy with it indeed. Thanks again to my friend Milo for these tricks, curving up the paper, getting those curves exact. That's enormously therapeutic. I absolutely love that. You can sit for hours just filing it. And of course, I use a 150 paper on the soft sand filler, so literally just stroking it. Every little stroke makes a tiny difference to the shape, and it eventually goes perfect. And that now, it's just got a couple of little pinholes, a couple of little marks on it that I just need to fill in with a tiny spread, just a stopper more than a filler, just like a brummer if you were a chippy, you know. You just spread a little bit in and just sand it off, and then overall go the matte black at the end. So for the next one, all I've got to do with this next is we've got to run the under tray's got to go in it. I've got to cut the under tray out so that we can see through this, because obviously there's not a lot of point in making all this if I'm not going to be able to see through it, so you can't see through the trellis. So we've got to cut the under tray so that you can see it properly, put that in, fix it in properly, run the wire in, a little bit of a change of direction coming. I've got a different idea with the backlight, but the tail unit itself will be final. I want to get everything done, run some indicators, run the wire in, battery in, everything done, everything placed, matte black, ready to go. And then finally I'll be able to start construction on the actual tail plastics, the body panel that's going to go over the top that I'm going to sit on. And that's going to be the biggest fun of all. I'm really looking forward to it. So there we are, that's all for tonight. Let this dry hard so I can do something meaningful and get it finished. Thanks for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. I always appreciate all your comments. Keep them coming. I love it. It's great fun. Ride safe. I'll see you next time.